All right, so I gave you some realistic trade targets, right? Gettable guys, and for the Yankees, guys that won't cost the farm and whatnot, and won't cause a havoc and you know an upheaval of the whole entire roster. I'm gonna go to the flip side now. Okay, let's talk about 4 just balls to the walls trades that the Yankees could just say, "Hey, yo, we're here. Sith Lord and the Evil Empire is here, and we're not going anywhere, mother effers." Okay. These are the 4 trades that I think Cashman would shock the baseball world, shock the trade deadline, just throw a wrench into everything because he can. Okay, and say, you know what, Steve Cohen? You know what, Dodgers? What's up? Like, just do it because he can. Okay, and this is the type of stuff that I like. Now, do I think they're going to happen? Most likely not. People are going to think I'm crazy, but that's what makes this fun. Okay. I like doing this stuff, and I want to know what you think of these trades too. And if you have any crazy ones of your own, put them in the comments. Let's get to it. The trade deadline is it's 2.5 weeks away now. Okay, and it's going to get heated. It's going to get crazy, and it's going to be more speculation, more crazy trade proposals, and it's all good, man. All good. And I'm going to go live trade deadline day. I'm going to give you my trade deadline predictions the week of. Okay, so a whole bunch of stuff's coming. So make sure you don't leave. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, please do that. I don't want you to miss any of this good stuff. And obviously, I do the Yankees recaps and the lineups and everything else. And after last night's crushing loss to the Reds, and my apologies to Garrett Cole, man. They blew a gem that you threw, man. I hope it doesn't happen. That's the 3rd time this year he's thrown a gem and the bullpen's blowing it for him. So, it's feel bad for the guy. Feel bad for the guy. But with that said, that stuff happens, even to the best teams. And again, there's still 35 games over 500. So let's keep some perspective. Now, let's get to the gusto here. Trade number 1, all right, is with the the Miami Marlins, not the Florida Marlins, okay? The Yankees would acquire starting pitcher Pablo Lopez. I would love Sandy Alcantara. So I'm going to give you my alternate package too. Pablo Lopez and Joey Wendell. Okay, a controllable starting pitcher. Pablo Lopez not a free agent until 2025. Okay, and he's one of their better pitchers. And Joey Wendell's one of the more versatile left-handed infielders, so it'll give the infield lots of versatility, lots of options. Play multiple positions. And again, another contact bat from the left-handed side who can hit righties pretty well. My alternate package, obviously, would be Sandy Alcantara and Jazz Chisholm. If you want to go for the Jaguar, and you go after Chisholm and Alcantara. That would be a blockbuster trades for the Yankees. This stuff, I mean, obviously would cost Peraza, Volpe, Medina, Hayden Wisniewski, and more. So, but again, look what you're getting in return. You're getting these controllable pitchers. And again, now is a situation where, I mean, the only individual player I would move Volpe for would be Juan Soto, okay, in a trade. Obviously, it would cost more than Volpe, but this is a package trade, so it's a little bit different. I don't know if I'd be able. You could probably get Wendell and Pablo Lopez without Volpe. You probably have to replace him with Dominguez and then add more pieces. But if you're going Jazz Chisholm and Sandy Alcantara, Volpe's got to go. You're not going to get those guys without him. So, and then you got to give a ton more than that. Lots of controllable years coming our way. Tons of controllable years going their way. So, and again, Miami has not shown the appetite to spend. But think of the dynamic player Chisholm would be here in the infield. Oh my heavens. The speed, the base running, with a little bit of pop and left-handed bat too. Like, he'd be a perfect fit here. And he'd be Hollywood here, man. In New York. Hollywood in New York is better than Hollywood in Hollywood. All right? What's up? That's trade 1. Trade 2 is with the Giants, San Francisco. And this one, the Yankees would acquire outfielder Jock Peterson and starting pitcher Logan Webb. Yes, their ace, Logan Webb. And he's not a free agent, I think, until 2027. He's a young, 25-year-old stud. Beast mode. Perfect guy to complement Garrett Cole at the top of the rotation. Just like Alcantara, just like Pablo Lopez would be. And again, this would also cost Volpe. You're not getting Logan Wood without Volpe and Jock Peterson. Jock Peterson would solve the left-handed hitting outfield problem. He's clutch in the postseason. He would do a lot of things that Gallo's not really doing and Hicks is not really doing. And now Hicks is hurt now. But again, his x-rays did come up negative last night, so there's nothing broken. But I might guess he'll sit for a few days. They might call up somebody, whatnot. But could you imagine getting Jock and Logan Webb? And again, it would cost Volpe, Everson Pereira, probably Esteban Florio. You have to throw in Miguel, and though you probably have to throw in quite a few other top prospects to get a guy. You're not going to get an ace level pitcher like that without giving up top prospects. It's not going to happen. Okay, that's trade number 2. Again, this would shock the world as well. Trade number 3 is one we talked about for a while. It's what a trade with the Pirates for David Bednar and Brian Reynolds. This is a trade that I see we talked about because I think it's probably the least insane of all 3 of these, and probably the only package where you won't have to forfeit Anthony Volpe, in my opinion. You'd have to give up Jason Dominguez, Oswald Peraza, and all that stuff, and Peraza in practice in second, which is perfect because they have O'Neill Cruz, who is not going anywhere. Okay, you put Peraza at second to complement with O'Neill Cruz in Pittsburgh. Oh, and that Pittsburgh team is going to be set for a while. You put some building blocks because they're not going to contend anytime soon. And by the time they do contend, if they keep Brian Reynolds, he'll be probably 30 or 31 at that point. Get some young juice in return, right? Jason Dominguez, Everson Pereira, Oswald Peraza, probably Ken Waldichuk. You'd have to give that to, and then a little bit more. But to get Bednar and Brian Reynolds, complete game changer for the Yankees. Game changer. Okay, you got your elite reliever, you got your center fielder who can play leadoff as well. You have those 2 pieces right there, and all you would need is a starting pitcher. Okay, and lastly, my number 4 trade is with the Seattle Mariners. Actually, they would acquire center fielder Kyle Lewis. Okay, he's not a free agent until 2026, and Andres Munoz. Shout out to Mike Mazza for this one. Who's not a free agent until 2029. He's one of their young, developing starting pitchers. Okay, 7 years of control, and he's building himself up. He's the type of guy. And again, this package, you're probably going to have to give up Volpe, okay, and Peraza, and Pereira, and Luis Medina. And you have to give up a ton, but you get your center field. You deal with the outfield problem. He's not a lefty, but they could still do something elsewhere. If they don't give up Florial, they can bring him in there too. But you have your defensively gifted center fielder who can hit pretty decently. He's a young, dynamic player, okay, and you have another starting building block in the starting rotation for almost a decade. Right there. Okay? From Seattle. And again, they're not going anywhere anytime soon, it looks like. They've gotten hot. They fell off. They got hot. I could see them making some moves. So these are my 4 bold blockbuster trades that I think are kind of completely insane, at least one of which is, again, like I said, less insane than the others. Do I predict these are going to happen? No. But again, why not have some fun here? Things are going to get nuts the next couple weeks, and I don't want you to miss any of this. But you let me know what you think. Give me your trades in the comments, and let's get into this one. Over and out.